Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Will I Be a Jerk for Stealing My Neighbor's Garden Gnome? I live in an apartment complex, and when I go to walk and get my mail, I enjoy looking at the different decorations and plants people set out on their porches. One neighbor has this miniature garden gnome on her steps. A few months ago, my favorite one somehow broke, and I always feel sad when I walk past it and still see his ceramic shell there. Will I be a jerk if I took the pieces off their porch one night and then superglued them back together? I would obviously put it back afterwards, but I'm wondering if that would be considered rude. Alright, OP. Actually, I don't think that you're a jerk in this situation entirely, or even really remotely. I think you have a lot of good intentions here. But it could also be that your neighbor is trying to find a way to repair it or just hasn't had the time. So maybe you should ask them first. I mean, I know that you probably want to do something nice for them, but if they have a repair in mind that they want to do for the garden gnome, then it might mess up their repair job if you were to go ahead and do that before them. And super glue might not necessarily be the best repair, so I would look at a ceramic based glue. I think you can get those. There are glues that work well with ceramic, so I would consider that route if you're really wanting to go ahead and repair it. So yeah, I mean, I guess it also depends, like if you're not close with this neighbor at all, then it might be awkward just to like approach them one day and be like, hey, can I fix your gnome? that might scare them. So I guess it depends on your relationship with this neighbor and how you do the repair, if you do a good job or not. So yeah, that's kind of my feelings on it. But I do feel like you're well intentioned here. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Oh, and what do you folks think? Jerk or not the jerk? I'm curious what everyone has to say about this one.
Not the jerk.
Amber says not the jerk. Misleading title, but wonderful surprise. Edited add to judgment, not the jerk. Agreed. Haha, I expected this go in a completely different direction. Pleasantly surprised. You need to get a card that reads, this exhibit is being repaired while you're getting it fixed. Seriously, putting this in its place would be a nice thing to do if she doesn't want to ring the doorbell and have an awkward conversation to ask if it's okay to fix the statue. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for telling my brother he downgraded? Hi there, sorry for the bad grammar. English is my first language, I'm just bad at it. I'm a 28-year-old female and my brother Mike, a 33-year-old male, was married to Lisa, a 31-year-old female, for 4 years until last year when he was caught cheating with Penny, a 29-year-old female. My ex-sister-in-law was reserved, sweet, and was straight-edged, no alcohol or drugs. Mike loves to party and went to court-ordered rehab before he was even 21. When Mike met Lisa, he sobered up, got an apprenticeship, and really turned his life around. He also threw that all away on Penny. Penny knew he was married, she got him drunk one night, and that's how the affair started. Penny is loud, disgusting, obnoxious, and encourages my brother to drink. He thinks she is so fun and the life of the party. We were at a family party this last weekend and Mike and Penny were there. Some cousins that we hadn't seen in years were there and we were introduced to Penny. Mike introduced her as his, quote, upgrade. Cue major side-eye from me. My brother noticed and pulled me aside later. He asked why the attitude. Penny was clearly an upgrade. I asked him to explain that comment. She's blonde, curvy, and fun, whereas Lisa looked like a flat-chested librarian. I decided to clear things up for him. Penny is obnoxious, rude, slovenly. Her hair is poorly bleached and smells like fungus. No one looks at her like a prize to be won. No one is jealous of him, which he thinks they are. His best friends won't even talk to him anymore because Penny made a dead baby joke to his wife after a miscarriage. Ooh. That is in poor taste. I let him know that he actually chose alcohol over his ex. Penny just encouraged him to do it because she had a crush on him for years. He called me a B and I told him samesies. Pretty sure I'm the jerk on this one, to be honest. Edit, pretty disappointed with myself for going after her for looks, though felt very immature after the fact. Going to just silently judge my brother's choice from afar from now, And to those saying that I need to accept my brother's partner, LOL, no I don't. I just won't be involved. I really loved my sister-in-law, and I really don't like how she was treated. And to those who followed me, LOL, why? Alright, OP.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I think we have our answer from Amber. She had to jump in here and say her opinion real quick. And that's fair. Sneeze is a very valid criticism of this one. That brings up a lot of great points. So thank you, Amber, for your opinion. I think that OP is a... I don't think that OP is the jerk in the situation. I don't think they should have insulted Penny. But I think that they pretty much hit the nose, the hammer, head on the nail on the head with this one. And her brother chose alcohol and substances over his ex-wife. And I think that's really unfortunate. It sounds like his ex-wife was really good for him and helped him, advance in life. And I think that was probably a really good thing. And it's too bad that he discarded her and traded her in for an upgrade. Yeah, so in the end, I think Lisa actually won out on this one because now she doesn't have a poor husband with a bad attitude. So yeah. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. Your brother picked someone who made dead baby jokes at his best friends after a trauma costing him the friendship. That is not an upgrade. While I don't agree with everything you said, I don't know, for some reason, something about calling a human an upgrade versus a downgrade just doesn't sit well with me. It almost feels like you value them as less of a person, which I think is incorrect. Everyone's a jerk in this situation, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the whole idea of an upgrade versus downgrade is very objectifying. I don't know. What do you think, Amber?
Yeah, I don't like the upgrade downgrade thing, but I do think it's worth pointing out that his reasons for choosing one partner over the other are not necessarily good.
Yeah. His reasons are definitely not good. Very flawed. Jumping on top comment to add, OP, your brother isn't someone who likes to party. He's a functional alcoholic. Blowing up your sober life when giving an excuse to drink is alcoholic behavior. It might be time for an intervention if those things even work. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for taking back my wedding dress after my sister-in-law took back my invitation? I'm a 29-year-old female and my sister-in-law, a 27-year-old female, are like sisters. We are both the same age, same interests, and same hobbies. Same style and fashion, makeup, etc. Her family, my brother's in-laws, are vicious people. They always comment on me and my wife and act like we were less than. We ignore them all the time and only see them on big occasions. My sister-in-law liked my wedding dress a lot and she asked to wear it for her wedding. I said of course, and I was thrilled it meant that much to her. I sent her the dress and received an invitation to hers and my brother's wedding. I noticed my wife's name wasn't on the invitation. I called my sister-in-law and asked, and she tells me that her parents were giving her a hard time for inviting me and my wife because they don't like us for obvious reasons. And after a lot of fighting, they agreed that I come alone since I'm the groom's sister, but not bring my wife. She apologized profusely, saying that she was hoping that I would understand because her parents are paying for the wedding. She said they even messed with the entire guest list, so I shouldn't take it personally. I said I won't come unless my wife comes. She got upset and told me to let it go, but I refused, and she ended up taking back the invitation, saying she was sorry, she just didn't want any drama at her wedding. I said fine, no hard feelings, and asked my brother to send the dress back to my place. My sister-in-law was stunned after she found out I took the dress back. She came over crying, begging me to let her have it, since she's not the one with the budget, and her parents told her to pay for her own wedding dress, but she has no money. She said that she loved my dress and promised to take care of it and return it, but I refused. My parents got involved, telling me to let her have it and reminded me of how strong our bond is, but I said it clearly wasn't as strong as I thought it was because she let her parents exclude me and my wife from the wedding. I'm not mad, just that I didn't want to give it to her after all that's happened. Sister-in-law is mad and clearly hoping I would change my mind, still, since she keeps texting me about it, trying to pressure me into lending her my dress. Alright. What do you folks think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Very much not the jerk.
Amber says not the jerk. I can't blame OP in this situation. This is a really hurtful situation. I think OP was willing to lend her the dress, and I think that this unfortunate turn of events was really probably heartbreaking for OP. OP viewed her as a sister, basically, and was uninvited from the wedding because she might cause drama. The only people who were causing drama here were her parents, and I think that, again, it feels like sister-in-law really chose the wedding itself over the people at the wedding. And she wanted to have, a fairy tale wedding, but what does it mean to have a fairy tale wedding if you can't have the people who are closest to you there? So I think that OP's sister-in-law has made a horrible mistake, and that she has her priorities wrong. So honestly, again, I can't blame OP for being upset here and taking back her wedding dress. So yeah. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, your sister, however, is a choosing beggar. Why does she think that she gets to have a say on your wedding and marriage, and then feel entitled to one of their most personal symbols in your own wedding dress that you married your wife in? To be fair, though, I would let her wear it, and then after the wedding, I'd social media the hell out of her photos and your photos side by side and just gush about how amazing it is that your sister-in-law wore your wedding dress that you married your wife in, and how the wedding dress is such a symbol of pure love between anyone who truly loves another person. I'm sure your sister-in-law's awful family will love your dress just as much as you do, but I'm petty like that. So yeah, I think that this person has a really good point here. If OP lends the dress and then just does a shout out to her and her wedding, then it's probably going to be infuriating for the in-laws. So I don't know. Our next letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for selling most of the jewelry my husband bought me when I had no other option?" There was a 2-year period where my husband and I were separated. My husband had a habit of buying me expensive jewelry during our marriage. During the separation, I sold a majority of it to support myself until I found a job in my new location. By some miracle, we reconciled, but I never mentioned having sold the jewelry because I didn't know how to bring it up, and he never seemed to notice that it was missing. His cousin is getting married soon. I'm a bridesmaid, and she recently came over to see me in my dress. While she was over, she mentioned the necklace that I used to have that would have looked perfect with the dress. I told her that I didn't think it would look nice because I don't have it anymore, and I didn't know how to admit that to her. Later, when we were having dinner, she brought it up again in front of my husband. She asked his opinion, and he agreed that the necklace would look good with the dress and suggested that I try it on just to humor her. I finally had to admit that I don't have it anymore. He never said anything in front of his cousin, just got quiet, but after she left, he brought it up again. I tried to explain that I sold it because I needed the money, but he wouldn't accept that reasoning. To be fair, he did keep adding money to our joint account the entire separation, but I never touched it for several reasons. The biggest one is I didn't want him to use the transactions to figure out where I was, and I didn't want to keep relying on him when I thought we were over for good. He asked me if there was just one necklace, so I had to admit that I sold most of it. He wanted me to show him what I kept, which I did. After he saw, he got really upset at me and asked if the things that he gave me had so little meaning that I would flog them off for peanuts when I had other options. I didn't know what to say, and he's clearly still angry at me. Am I the jerk? All right, OP. I think that you had some hard decisions to make, and you chose to sell the pieces of jewelry even though they had some meaning to you, and in order to support yourself. And I think that you did something that you felt that you had to do at the time, so I would have a really hard time faulting you for that. So I can understand why your husband would be upset that you sold these, but you had no way of knowing that you two were going to get back together. You had no idea you were going to reconcile. and you were doing what you thought you needed to do in order to survive. And, it's easy for him to say, well, you had other options, but you didn't feel like you had other options. And, that's what's important here. And so I honestly just can't blame you. What do you folks think? Not the jerk. I think that being separated for 2 years is a long time. Either way, they were gifts. Yours to do with as you wish. Plus, OP was assuming that they were over for good. She was moving on with her life and trying to be self-reliant. Why would she keep loads of valuable, sentimental items that just reminded her of her failed marriage? Why continue to rely on her ex for financial support? Keeping the jewelry only made sense if she was holding out hope that they would get back together, which is not really a healthy approach to a breakup. It's great that they ended up getting back together, but she had no way of knowing that would happen. He doesn't get to be mad since she couldn't see the future. He's hurt that they meant so little to her, but she likely sold them at least partially because they meant so much. They were painful reminders of how that love ended. She totally was justifiable trying to move on. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
I think I need a drink of water, but I forgot to get water. Today on Brian's Advice, this letter has been brought to you by dying of dehydration.
I thought you were going to say water.
Water. Airs, gotta put on airs. Pinkies out.